still alive. If it goes, nope. And down goes UCLA. I got to be honest, guys. I think the biggest issue for UCLA is going to be on the defensive end of the floor. You can't give up 85 points. You can't get blown away in switches the way that they got blown away. And you have to be better guarding great guards on the perimeter. When it comes to tournament time, Steve, we all know this. Great guards are going to be what allows you to win. And I know that T.O. is pissed over there because I spoiled another ending for him. This is becoming my favorite thing to do on the After Dark show is to
I love all of this.
If you look at the two UCLA losses, it's they've given up a lot of points. And if you look at the trend and I mean, a lot of the good teams now, Arizona, obviously, when you think Arizona, you're thinking offense right now when you're talking top 10. But everybody else up there, Baylor, you throw Baylor out there, what's your first thought? Man, they defend. Texas Tech is the hot team right now. What do? Toughness, defend.
Auburn,
throw them out there. LSU, throw it out there. I think it's changed a little bit. I heard somebody on Talk Radio today were saying, football. I think it was Bill Romanowski was talking. In NFL football, would you hire an offensive coach or defensive coach if you want to get to the Super Bowl? NFL is kind of like offense because the rules changed. We're trying to score. We got to outscore you. I think basketball's kind of flipped now back to where, man, if you're not great on the defense end of the floor, you're going to have a hard time winning, But the elite teams, the teams that are going to have a chance to win regular season conference championships, they're going to be top three, both offensively and defensively when you look at those Ken Pom numbers, OER, DER, and all that stuff. But, I think the analytics plays a part until it's 4th and 1 on your own 19. And jokingly, we were talking about you go for it where probably should have punted. But who knows?
T.O., what do you make of UCLA? What do you make of Oregon? Give me a 1-minute wrap up for this game.
Oregon is talented. It takes a while. Altman's typically taken a while to get his team together. Those guys are still really good. And Will Richardson's as good as advertised. Preseason all conference in that league. And he can really score it. So they have weapons. It just takes a little bit of time to adapt and learn how to play together. And those were a lot of big signings, guys, like a lot of really good players. It's going to take a minute. UCLA, defensively obviously is an issue. I just also worry, and I've said this before, they rely on making a lot of tough shots too.
Yes.
And during the NCAA tournament, they made all of those tough shots. And for you to have to rely on that in an NCAA tournament setting makes me a little bit apprehensive.
Yeah, and we talked about how difficult it is to reintegrate someone like a Andre Curbelo into a team. UCLA is kind of doing that right now with Cody Riley. He's a guy that plays a key role for them in terms of a press release that you could throw the ball to in the post. So finding a way to get him going. My biggest takeaway from this game, guys, Oregon is back. I will say it. Oregon is back. You can't look at the way that those guards played today and not believe it. You can't look at the way that those guys, I think it's as simple as they believed, right? We've talked about this before, T.O., but I think confidence in situations like this matters almost as much as anything else. Life is confidence. And I think that those guys are starting to believe a little. You go into Pauley Pavilion and win, and I think that you've kind of proven that you believe. So I'm in on the Ducks. I'm still in on UCLA, but I think they kind of got beat, man. When it comes down to it, this game down the stretch turned into almost like a one-on-one battle where you had UCLA's guys going to try to make a play and Oregon's guys going to try to make a play. And Oregon had guys that made better plays. Is that, that seems kind of simplistic, but that's kind of what the overtime period was, no?
Yeah, I wouldn't give up on either one of these coaches from a standpoint. Like we said, Oregon's coming. They got a huge one at Southern Cal. They're coming together, offensively, obviously very talented. UCLA, the thing we got to think about when you talk about them, where a game like this makes you realize if they got beat in the second round last year, are they third in the country today? And are we evaluating them at the same measure? They made that great run. I think they got to stay the course. I think Mick, you're not going to bet against a Mick Cronin team. They're going to get better. They're going to figure out ways to win. But like I said, when you watch them play against Gonzaga that night, it was a lot of one-on-one, a lot of tough mid-range shots, and what those lead to, it leads to transition. It leads to a pace of play that makes you got to be good defensively. And they're on defense a lot right now.
Yep. All right, guys. I told you to come up with a cheers for tonight. This is a new thing that I want to make happen at the end of all of these streams. As a reminder, this is the Field of 68 After Dark. My name is Rob Doster. That is Steve Prohm. That other guy down there is Terrence Oglesby. He's from Tennessee, in case you didn't know. Make sure if you're still listening, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment, do all of those good things. Interact with us on YouTube. It's the best way to help us grow and best way to help more people find these shows and these videos. So, you know what, T.O., I'm going to you first here. Who's your cheers for the night?
It was Chris Murray at Iowa. Keegan's gotten all the pub. He said, "Hey, mom and dad, I'm here too. Don't forget about me. I mean, I'm a pretty good player as well." And what did he go for 28 tonight? Really nice performance. Iowa has needed some other guys to step up when his brother. I mean, there hadn't been many games where he hasn't been great, but good to see the other Murray step up. So, sir, cheers to you.
Cheers to Chris Murray. What do you got, Prohm?
We talked about him early. Cheers to Greg Gard and the job he's doing up there at Wisconsin. Obviously, some really, really tough to replace a legend. He's done a phenomenal job. This will be 6 or 7 teams. He's taken the NCAA tournament. The COVID year, he won the Big Ten, didn't get a chance to go. They got a legitimate chance to win the Big Ten if they can stay the course and that Big Three can carry them. But I'm really happy for Greg and the success he's having. So cheers to the Kohl Center, Salty Dog Cafe, and the Wisconsin Badgers.
So I am going with DePaul, with the Blue Demons. I thought about going with Oregon. We just talked way too much about Oregon. So shout out to Will Richardson. Shout out to Jacob Young. Shout out to those guys. Great win for the Ducks. But I'm going with the Blue Demons, man. DePaul almost never gets a win. We almost never mentioned DePaul on the show. Tony
Stubblefield.
96.
Doing a good job, man. Look at their scores, man. They've only, we talked about BYU Houston being a tough scores. They've only got one league game that's gotten out of hand a little bit, 15, 18. They have been right in the thick of these games for the majority of the time. And he's done a good job of getting them guys that compete and play, and some more wins are going to follow them.
Yeah, was it Oregon last year, ironically enough? Well done, Doster.
Yeah, so cheers to
Tony Stubblefield. You got your Oregon type in.
Cheers to Tony Stubblefield. Cheers to Greg Gard. Cheers to Chris Murray. And cheers to the Field of 68. Sirius XM, baby. Let's go.
Yep. Congrats. That was my other cheers too, but you guys were all going basketball. Are you going to get on Terrence for having a Carolina Panthers Cup? Washington won 7 games. They won 5. I think they won 5. Maybe 6. Are we still on air?